8 subtle hints that someone has low self-esteem. It's easy to think of self-esteem as a person who lacks confidence, the person that is sitting in the corner too nervous to interact with anyone or something similar. While that is a definite sign of low self-esteem, as someone in that situation is battling with themselves internally, the starting signs of this end result are more subtle. Not every person who has low self-esteem issues was always like this. In many cases, those in that situation encounter one or more of these subtle signs that brought them to that point. Number 1, they apologize too much. Saying sorry is something that we all do. We bump into someone, we say sorry, for example. Just because you say that doesn't mean you have low self-esteem. When it is a sign, it is when it doesn't seem appropriate to say it, like you're trying to protect yourself from emotional harm. Number 2, you indulge in self-deprecating humor. We see this all the time in comedy these days, with John Oliver's Last Week Tonight being one of the more prominent ones. Those moments are fine, and as people, we do make mistakes and have flaws. Pointing those out at times to laugh at ourselves is fine. It becomes a problem if you use this to bully yourself. Number 3, you feel bad whenever you procrastinate. Procrastination, as I mentioned before, boils down to emotions not being managed. In many cases, we procrastinate because we don't like a task for whatever reason, or because there is an emotion associated with the task we don't like. Procrastination is an entirely natural thing, and often it can result in us taking a break. Where it becomes a sign of low self-esteem is when you feel bad about doing this. Number 4, you have a lack of opinions. What kind of opinions do you have on subjects? Anything from politics to what you think is the best condiment or restaurant. Opinions shape our world and our view of it. When you lack them, or you agree with whatever opinion you come across immediately, it can be a sign of low self-esteem. At the same time, it's another sign if you believe the ideas you have are bad, faulty, or just not good enough. Number 5, you routinely focus on problems. Every single person has problems that need to be solved, of course, and for many of us, we vent them to other people. Venting is one of the ways that we cope, and it's fine. When it becomes a sign of low self-esteem is when we continuously vent about the same issue and are seemingly doing nothing to solve it. Number 6, you're working hard. Many people throw around the words working hard, but with low self-esteem, it boils down to the specific tasks that you're doing. Are you working hard on things that make a significant impact? Or are you working hard at some of the most simple tasks that don't matter as much? What you answer yes to determines whether you've got good self-esteem or low self-esteem. Number 7, you're not doing much beyond work. Outside of work, what else do you do? If you spend a lot of time watching TV and not doing much else, then it can be a sign of low self-esteem. With healthy self-esteem comes curiosity and a desire to do other things. Number 8, they do things over the top. Another way to look at it is overcompensating for something. Some prime examples are people dressing really nice for a restaurant where it's not warranted, or buying a luxury vehicle to impress other people. It's a sign because this creates a false front of who they actually are, and they think that's interesting than who they really are. Just because you are doing these from time to time doesn't mean you're suffering from low self-esteem. After all, there is a defense mechanism that we naturally do. The key is to mitigate them through healthy alternatives, like apologizing only when it's necessary or recognizing mistakes, rather than turning them into everyday habits that bring you into a downward spiral. By catching those signs early and not making them habits, you're able to stabilize and ensure they don't become more harmful for you in the future.